Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Simiano Mtandazo. If you are new to my channel, welcome you to the family. Don't forget to subscribe and click the subscription button down below. Yeah, just don't forget to subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for your love and support. Yeah, so guys, as you guys know that I was doing the first year of work series. This is the last video of the series, and on today's video we're going to be discussing tax and tax returns, basically why it's important to pay your tax and how do you go about doing that. Okay, that's about it. Okay guys, so as I said, today we're going to be discussing the importance of paying tax. How do you go about registering as a taxpayer in South Africa, and basically how do you go about submitting your tax return, and basically who needs to submit their tax returns. Okay, so the first thing is, why do we pay taxes? As you guys know, we pay taxes to our government. The reason why we pay tax is because it supports the public system, so your public hospitals, clinic, public schools, the roads, and basically all those things that we don't really pay for, like the free stuff in the country. We actually pay for those things via our taxes. Yes, so that's the reason why we pay taxes. So the first thing is, okay, before I continue, I have my notes because this is an intense topic and I am not a tax person, so I don't really know a lot about tax and how the tax industry and the system works and all the drama. I just took most of the notes that I made from my past experience as an employee and basically from the SARS website online. Okay, so the first thing is, as an employee you pay something we call PAYE, which is pay as you earn. It's basically a tax that you pay because of the salary or the wage that you get paid by your employer. Okay, so if you are working and you're getting paid every month, that means you need to be paying your pay as you earn tax, okay, to SARS. So the pay as you earn is normally an amount that you pay every month. So what happens is your employer deducts that certain percentage every month and they pay it to SARS directly. So you don't have to take the amount and go pay it to SARS directly yourself. Okay. So basically in South Africa we all pay our taxes to the government via SARS, which is also known as the South African Revenue Services. Oh my god, yes. So we pay our taxes via SARS to our government. So basically you pay tax from your income, from the income that you earn at work every month until you are 65 years old, which is normally the age that is known as your retirement age, and then after that you would go on and be a pensioner basically. So let's see, what did I miss? Okay, so the last thing I'm just going to discuss is basically that we have something we call tax season. During your tax season, it's just a season where it's like a period of time where you are submitting your tax returns. So tax returns are submitted by like certain individuals who earn a certain income and who fall into a certain criteria, which I will discuss towards the end of the video. So the first thing you must know is that as an employee you need to pay your tax every month. This tax is normally deducted before you receive your salary by your employer, and they pay it directly to SARS, and SARS stands for South African Revenue Services. They are basically our tax collector in South Africa. And another thing you need to know is that you pay tax until you are 65 years old, as long as you're employed and you're getting a salary each month. And then the last thing is that you must submit for your tax returns during the tax season. Once the tax season is closed, you are not allowed to submit. Cool. So the last thing I'm going to discuss before we go on to how you become a taxpayer and how do you go about registering with SARS to become a taxpayer, the last thing I want to discuss is that you also pay tax on other incomes that you receive. Let's say maybe you're renting out a flat, or you've got a business, or you've got whatever it is that you're getting income from, you have to pay tax for that. But for today's video we are just discussing tax with regards to salaries, tax with regards to being an employee. Okay, so if you're sitting at home right now and you're asking, how do I register to become a taxpayer? So before you start working, it is actually important to go register with SARS. This you can do via the SARS website, or you can go visit your nearest SARS branch. So what you need to do, you need to go to SARS and you need to register as a taxpayer. Then you will get something we call a tax number, and that's what you give to employee, and that's the number they will use when they deducting your tax and then they paying it to SARS, which would then mean that amount is allocated to you with SARS type of thing. That's going to be your tax number. So you need to register with SARS, and this can be done, as I said, online. You can visit the SARS website. I am going to leave the description, the link to their website on the description down below. You can register with SARS, or you can visit the nearest SARS branch to register as a taxpayer. So there are 3 important documents that you need to submit when you're going to be registering as a taxpayer. The first document you need to submit is your certified copy of your ID. The second thing you need to submit a proof of residence. This you can do in different ways. You just have to go. I think it's actually easier to go and confirm at the branch, because I remember when I went, they had a whole list of things that they wanted, because I was still a student. So when I went, they needed a whole list of things and stuff. So the most important thing is that you either get a letter, or you get your bill statement, which would have your full name and surname and the address that you're actually living in. If you live with your parents, they can always have that bill statement for your electricity or water, and then they can actually have an affidavit or a signed letter which confirms that yes, you do live with your parents, and they pay the bills at home and all the drama, so that they would accept that. The last thing you need to sort out, you need to get a 3 months bank statement, which is original copies, and those have to be stamped. Okay? So I feel the easiest way to do it is to go to the branch, because then if there's any information you need to sort out, then you would ask them directly, but do whatever works for you. So let's just run through it again. To register as a taxpayer, you can do it online via the SARS website, or you can visit the nearest SARS branch. The documents that you need to take is your certified copy of your ID, license or passport, driver's license or passport. The second thing is proof of address or residence, and the last thing is 3 months worth of bank statements. It has to be original copies, and they need to be stamped, and it has to be recent. So if you go back to the beginning of the video, if you still remember, I said you need to submit for your tax returns during the tax season. So on their website, I found they have a criteria which you must fall under in order for you. Okay, so basically they say, important tip, top tip is that if you do not need to submit, sorry guys, let me repeat, you do not need to submit a return if all the below criteria apply for you. So if all the 3 things that I'm going to mention now apply to you, then there's no need for you to submit your tax return during tax season. The first thing is, if your total employment income or salary for the year before tax was not more than 500,000 rands, then there's no need for you to submit. The second thing that must apply is that if you only received employment income for the year of assessment from one employer, then there's no need to submit a tax return. Third thing is, if you have no car allowance, company car, or travel allowance with the company that you're working for, then you do not need to submit for a tax return. So basically, if those 3 things apply to you, all of them, guys, all of them, not just one of them, but if all of them apply to you, then SARS is saying there is no need for you to submit for a tax return. But if one of those things apply to you and the 2 don't, then just submit for your tax return during your tax season. So basically that's it from today's video. I hope you guys will be educated in terms of tax, because I remember when I got my tax number, I didn't know what was happening with tax. I didn't know when I had to submit for my tax return. I didn't know if I had to submit for my tax return, and all the drama. So the important thing is that if you are employed and you're getting a salary or an income, you need to pay tax and you need to be compliant. If you are going to be starting work, you need to register as a taxpayer with SARS so that you have a tax number. And then the last thing is that, as I said, if you fall within this criteria where all the 3 things that I mentioned apply to you, then you have to submit for you don't have to submit, for your tax return. But if only one of the 3 things that I mentioned apply to you, then you do have to submit for your tax return. So that's it from me today. I know I was supposed to upload this video on Sunday, but I will be uploading today, which is Friday, because of my network problems, guys. Please do forgive for that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends. From me and the Mentor's Corner, it is goodbye for now. We'll see you soon. Mwah.